Yo.
Hey, guy.
Oh my God. Guys, we're laughing because y'all just don't know the half, the things that goes on behind the scene, trying to get ready for these live and having a toddler, y'all. Good evening, everybody.
I
Good
love it when she. I
evening.
love it when she doesn't take a nap at school because then she's extra tired. But
I don't love it.
I think she can nap. She took a nap today.
What's up, Becky? Thank you for joining us. Your text message was so dope. She texted me earlier, say she excited to join us tonight. Thank you for being on.
Hey,
I don't know if this was a surprise or not, and I think she's gonna try to pull up on you when you go to Boston. The next when you go to Boston.
is that where you live,
I didn't know that either. Hey Becky,
Becky?
welcome everybody. If you're here, don't be shy. Say hello. I see Bebet is on the live on Instagram. Hi Bebet, how you doing, girl? Uh, and as you guys are coming in, do us a favor and share the live with
Yes, yes,
somebody.
yes. Sharing,
Uh,
sharing, sharing.
you have those group chats that you are in that you know they need to tune in. Ketsi, what's up, girl? How are you? Yes, yes, she is definitely in Massachusetts, not Boston. Let's get it right. How we coming
Okay.
across in the sound, guys? How we sounding? Do we sound good? Do we sound clear? Let us know about that too, just to make sure everything is. I can never say that word. I'm gonna attempt it anyway. Everything is copacetic. Copos,
Copacetic.
copacetic. I want to try a different word on tonight.
He's not from here, guys, but
All right.
it's okay.
Ketsi said we
That's
sound great.
okay.
We are clear. What about Instagram? How we coming across, y'all? Do we sound good? All right. We are going to get started. But right before we do that, please go ahead and share the live with somebody. Share with at least five
Five
people.
people.
And we have a hot topic for you guys tonight. We are super excited to discuss this. And the topic of conversation is,
Harmony in diversity. What
what
does that
does that
even
mean?
mean?
You go in. You explain what
All
does that mean.
right. um, Thank you, Becky. Hey, Miranda.
What's up,
So,
sis?
um,
Wait, is Junior there with you or just you? I'm sure I'm at done.
I'm just sharing galore. Okay. All right. I think I'm done with sharing.
So while she's gonna tell you guys what this topic is about, I'm gonna go ahead and share. So if my head is down, it's not because I'm being rude. I'm just sharing, try to get some people on this live tonight to hear this wonderful, wonderful conversation that we are about to have. And I hope you
Okay.
guys are excited because we are excited
So
about
if
it.
you guys could just click share, thank you so much, Ketsy. She just shared on 2 chats.
All right, all right.
Listen, how many? Who? Okay, so who could do 3? Who could do 3 chats? No.
Competition.
Uh, all right. So tonight's topic is called harmony and diversity.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we chose this topic tonight was because we were inspired by a video that we saw
Yeah.
in terms of that was just relating to couples who are either alike
Yeah.
or different. Like what are the pros and the cons
Yeah.
of both, right?
Yeah.
And we started to think about ourselves and like, okay, babe, would you say that we're more alike or more different? And how does that benefit us, or how has that worked for us
Yeah.
in our relationship? Um,
And for those of you guys who are on, Ketsy, Miranda, Becky, and Jeff, any other person that is on here, we would love to know. I know you guys are married already. So let's talk about a little bit how alike are you with your husband and how unalike,
Different,
how
babe,
opposite, how
or
different
different?
you are from your husband. And I'm wondering, because the thing that inspired this video, because the guy was saying in the video that he feel like God appointed differences in relationship as something that is a blessing from God. And to me, I feel like that's kind of like a stretch, because just because you are, what if you're like, does that mean that you're not? It's not a bless as strong a relationship, if you were opposites.
Now, I don't think that he was saying if
That's
you're
what I got
like it.
from it.
I'm just maybe he was just talking about differences, right? Maybe the audience that he was talking to, they were, you know, talking about the differences that
Yeah.
they're facing in their relationships, right?
Okay.
Becky just said differences can be a pain, but they foster growth. I agree with that.
Okay.
And in I can even think of instances where we are different on so many levels and how we are able to draw from each other's strengths because of that,
Okay.
right? Because like, so for example, Irvin's is more of a
I'm a nicer person than Ennis. Let's just go there.
in what world? In what world, right? No, but like, so Irvin's is more of a he's more of a, so let's say even in parenting, Irvin's is more of the passive type.
Can y'all believe that?
Irvin's is more of the passive type, whereas I'm more of the stern,
She's
like
mean.
iron fist
She's
type,
mean.
right?
Hey guys,
And
she called
so
our kids the N word.
Irvin's, no, I didn't.
Yes, you do. You've called our kids
That
the
was
N
just
word.
I was
But
really
you just said that you didn't. You just said just now.
No.
You didn't.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is, because I'm more of the iron fist and he's more of the passive, like we really balance each other well, right? We balance each other in places where, like, if I'm a little too stern, he's you know, he gives the kind of rub or whatever, and that gives them a healthy balance. So
Look
I
who's
think
back, Reggie.
what
He said Irv is different from everyone. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
So we're able to draw from each other's strengths, right? Let's see what Miranda says. She said, alike in the sense where we are both laid back to some extent and love to laugh, but very much different in how we process things and how we plan. But our differences complement each other. And that's what I think. I believe that because we have differences, we complement each other. We balance each other out. We've shared this example a couple of times where Irvin's he was less likely to apologize when we have an argument, right? Don't be proud of that, bro. Don't be. But in my case, my strength was being able to squash things, right? And so I would step up in those areas where I knew he was weak at. And eventually me stepping up and being the change that I wanted to see, it encouraged him to really be a little bit more intentional in that area. So that's another way we complemented each other, right? And like it created a healthy balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, is there anyone out there who you and your partner are completely different,
Yeah.
but it somehow works?
And I might be jumping the gun a little bit also, but one of the key things I really want us to try to get out of tonight is there really, can we really say the relationships that are made up of people who are probably complete opposite are healthier, and what of a relationship where people are so much alike is it unhealthy? I know there's going to be in between, right? But I guess from the video, that what inspired this live, I feel like it was almost portraying that this importance of being opposite and different, for him at least, that was a great way for them to go, right? So I am very curious to know about you guys. What are your thoughts on this? Is being the same very similar the way, or as being the opposite the way? Because we all know the saying, opposites attract, opposites attract. We hear that all the time. And matter of fact, even when you look up articles about relationship where the people are the same or different, you get more results about opposites versus what it is to be alike. And it's so interesting. So we would love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this notion of opposite attracting versus alike being whack? Right? And also, which one is a healthier? Which one is a healthier? What are your thoughts on that? Someone said on Instagram, what if some people take differences as disconnect? Let's say a little bit more about that. NYC Care. What if some people take differences as disconnect? We'll have to hear. Oh, I know. I was away
I
from the mic.
I think
What if some people take differences as a
as a
disconnect?
disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where he's going with that. Um, I think people can think that they're so different that there's nothing that they have in common.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even find a connection with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's something that would I think I think that it's always good to try to learn something new. If you think that this person is someone that's worth investing into,
Yeah.
I think it's worth trying to get to know them and to see how their differences or your differences can complement you, right? Or how how my
Yeah.
difference from your how our differences can complement one another.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. But I can see how someone could say, we're way too different. There's nothing that we have that's in common. So like what's the point in even going any further? I
All
can
right.
see that.
So let's think of the classics, the movies.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you guys who might watch Grease, go Grease Lightning, Grease Lightning, go.
But
Like
why Greece?
Grease, because Grease, you have Tony Zuko.
Babe, I don't really remember
Bro,
Greece
you
like
know,
that. I'm
anybody who
sorry.
watches Grease, Grease is dope.
Let's talk about like
Let's think of in the movies, you have good girl, see bad boy.
mhm.
Good girl fall in love with bad boy,
Wasn't
or
that
vice
like in
versa.
Titanic?
And he was poor, and she was rich.
Okay, that's
But
opposites.
that's like really more about wealth than it is about personality, right?
Okay.
So if you think about good girl like boy, or there's some other romantic movie where the jock see the nerdy librarian, and then he falls in love with, and they fall in love.
Mhm.
All these corny movies that you
But they makes for really
for
great
Moon Blanc, right?
they make for really great stories though. Like,
Why do the movies even show you that?
yeah.
They show you this like people from the other side of town who should have nothing in common.
Because it's two different worlds being merged into one. It's like I'm learning about your world while you're learning about mine, and that's beautiful, right? Like I may not know about sports cars
Mhm.
and stuff, but you may not know about natural hair, but like when we come together, now I know about that and you know about this. So like I feel like there's more that you can learn from someone who's so much different than you than from someone who's completely the same. So I'm watching this there's a bunch of comments. Let's go back and see what they're saying.
All right,
But
let's see.
let me just say real
Go
quick.
ahead.
But I'm watching Love is Blind. Do you guys watch like reality
That's another
shows?
topic. That's another topic.
I'm just like
Yeah.
so like okay, anyway. So there's this couple on Love is Blind. I'm really bad with names, so I can't say, but he's the black guy with the braids, and then he got engaged to a white girl, and this is his first time being with a white girl. But they both are very much the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was talking to another contestant, and he was just saying how we are so alike that it kind of gets annoying.
Mm.
So I feel like some people who find so many similarities, it almost like we're the same people, so it's kind of like boring, right? Or it's like we do the same things, and it's like overbearing, like relax, like because they're both like so caring and so nurturing, and they're like overly nurturing to each other, and he's kind of like taken aback by it, like why is she so much like me?
Mm.
So I'm wondering if being alike is a good thing, or if, well, in that case it's just not for them.
I don't know, man. I think there's a level of excitement that come along with the whole being different
Yeah,
thing.
of course.
But then again, that could potentially run its course. How much different are you?
I think that's a good question.
That
Like
bring up another.
there's levels
There's
to
levels
this,
to it,
right?
yo, because you could be so different. Because then it's not just in the dating or courting or marriage relationship. Then you have to bring children in this.
Yeah.
So if your styles are so different, that much, that different, then it's potential for issues, right?
Yeah,
So
let's
let's
see
see
what.
what the comments say. First of all, thank you guys again for being here. All our new subscribers too. If this is your first time tuning in,
Yes.
please raise your hand. We'll have the ushers come around and bring out uh,
your card to
bring me a card. No, but real
visitor's
talk though,
card.
as your guy, we really appreciate you. So depending on where you're watching us from, if you are on YouTube, we do ask that you just hit up that subscribe button right now. Just subscribe to the page, let it go up. And for my Facebook folks, if you haven't liked our page yet, please go ahead and do that. And again, IG, if you're here, follow our page as well. We think everybody, regardless of where you're tuning in and watching us from, we just appreciate your presence
Yes.
and continue to support us, y'all. So let's go to some of these comments. The first one says from Jerry Michelle, opposites may be different, but opposites bring balance to the relationship.
Yes, it sure does.
Okay. Say more about that, Jerry, and especially in the context of what I just mentioned. How much difference are we talking about? Where it could still be a healthy relationship, where you like
Yeah.
completely night and day. Can that still be a successful relationship? What you think, babe? Like completely not opposite, night and day.
I've seen it happen on these reality
Oh
shows.
Lord.
I've seen
It's
it.
scripted
Married at
reality,
first
babe.
sight. No,
Scripted reality is not. If there's any kind
I've
of
seen it
script,
happen.
if on the bottom it says written by, it's fake.
Oh boy.
Well, go ahead.
I've seen it happen. Like, and you'll see, honestly, have you ever seen a couple and you're like, how did they end up together? Right? Like, how, like, they just look completely different. Like, they're from two different worlds, but they're together. How did that work? So I feel like
Money.
people are infatuated with differences. They're infatuated with learning something new. I don't know. For some, it could be an experiment, Let's see what she says. Being the same can sometimes create a space for being stagnant or stubborn. No growth due to always agreeing or never bringing another perspective to the table. And I think that's what Homeboy was getting at from Love Is Blind. Like, we are so much alike, and I'm looking forward to seeing if it actually works. Like, if they actually stay together. I'm kind of behind if you guys are already onto the show. But yeah, some people can feel like, bro, we are way too much alike. Like, it gets boring. There's no excitement because, like, I already, like, I know what you're gonna do next. Like, I can you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they can predict what your reactions will be because you're so much alike. I don't know, but some people may like it. It works for some people as well. So
we had a question on because the Cuzzo Salem is on Instagram. Yo, bro, that's gonna be a topic all in itself.
What
How
did
do
he
you
say?
find trust when it's broken? I think that's gonna be a live all by itself, and we probably gonna do something like
that's
that.
a great question.
And I actually wanna have a couple who both have been restored after trust has been broken, and also someone who was not able to reconcile after trust has been broken. So let's tune in for that. And if you're on the live, guys, we'd love to have people as guests.
Come on, y'all. Come join us.
Feel free to hit us up on the side at our email address is right here. If you ever want to hit us up, or hit us up on the social medias. But you can always message us as love talks with the Garcons at Gmail. No, love talks with the Garcons at gmail.com or Garcon Collective Ventures at gmail.com. We would love to have you guys join our lives so we could dive into some of these topics. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Let's see.
Right, Daniel. Love Is Blind. That is the joint. His name is Kenneth. Okay. Yes, Kenneth, the guy, he's saved and his girl's saved, and they're like, they love Jesus together.
Daniel, tell the truth. Does your wife force you to watch this, right? Your wife forced you to watch this, and it's okay. Listen, blink twice if that's you. I can't see you, but send me a blank. We'll try to rescue you. All right, brother? So, what's up, first time watcher. Thank you again, Becky. All right, let's see what Ketsia said. Ketsia said, I think being alike is values and beliefs is important, but being different in personality, hobbies, activities is the spice of the relationship. It leads to new experiences and creates excitement.
I love that
Yeah.
perspective. Yeah. Because like, come on, being different on values and beliefs, like things that really, really are important to you,
Mhm.
that can really cause friction in a relationship.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that you brought that up, Kat.
But
That we have
what about
to
temperament
being alike in temperament.
or opposite in temperament?
Bro, I'm not gonna be dealing with anybody that's had, because I know I'm very mild tempered. So
Mhm.
the opposite of mild is hot,
Ooh,
right? I don't need
you're
anybody that's
hot.
I don't need any- I don't need anyone that's hot tempered. So like, no. I think it depends on what you're alike in and what you're different on. So that was a really good perspective to share, Kat. Thanks so much.
Right.
Being alike in values and beliefs, in temperament, right? But being different with hobbies, because like if you are all about hiking
Yeah.
and I'm all about spas, right? Then
Imagine.
you get to come
Yeah.
into my world and I get to come into your world and we get to enjoy both worlds. I think that's the beauty of differences.
I think one of the things that'll probably kill us if we ever go on vacation where I think we are both the same type of vacationers.
We're not, babe.
I think so. I think we
We're
like to
not.
relax. We like to relax.
I like to relax at vacations.
No, no, here's the difference though. You like when our vacations tend to be at a resort. We tend to do all inclusive resort because it's just easier with the kids, right? And so and like to do everything that's at the resort. But we are still on the resort.
Okay.
She's not an excursion person. I'm not really. I'm not either. I probably could. My vacation could consist of me just sitting by the poolside, going to eat, go take a nap, go watch a show, and I'm good. But if anyone's a vacationer who wants to go sightseeing, that's why for me, I don't know about you guys, but like a European vacation does not appeal to me because I know what it entails. It entails going to watch architecture buildings and go hang out. I don't want to do all of that. If she's, are you that? Is that appealing to you?
I would do it. Just for
Or if she
once.
was a hiker, let's go take a hike. I mean, we don't do that. We
Some
don't do
people do,
that.
babe. Shad does.
Yeah, shad is different. That's it's different, right? And so that's what we're talking about. So we always say opposite attract, but some people actually believe that's probably a myth, right? And the reason why some people believe it's mostly a myth is because at the end of the day, I still do believe that a lot of people are attracted to people that are similar to them. They have things in common.
Mhm.
A lot of time that's what draws.
But you know what? A lot of people will
I
meet
mean,
people.
Ketsy, I mean, you kind of like Moon Blanc.
A lot of people, though, honestly, will meet people who are like them based on a common place.
Right.
So like church, for example. A lot of people who are alike will meet in church because they share the same values, same beliefs, right? Or some people will meet at the art gallery, right? Because what am I gonna say? They found
Ketsy, you have Moon Blanc tendencies. That's all I got.
they find common ground at like in that hobby, right?
Mhm.
And if you think about it, those who are on what are those things? Dating sites.
Okay.
They get matched based on. That's a good question. I don't know. Those of you who are on dating sites, like, do you guys get matched based on your
I
similarities
believe
or
so.
based on differences that can complement
No,
each
because they
other?
literally call it a match. So when they talk about
But if you
matches,
think about Married at First Sight,
oh, that's the wrong
no, what they
example.
no, honestly, because babe, what they will do, anybody that they watch Married at First Sight, what they will do is that they will pair two people. Let's say one person is mild tempered and one person is hot tempered.
Mm-hmm.
They will pair them together so that the mild tempered person can help the hot tempered
But
person kind of calm
keep in
down.
mind also, there's a lot of lies on those shows because sometimes you hear people, you even hear some of the contestants, quote unquote, be like, "Why did you even match me with this person? You know this, that, and the third." Remember, what's that guy named? The guy from
Chris,
Oh my god, that was a worst candidate on that show. That dude was like narcissist defined, right? And they put him with this girl who was, she didn't have really much of a self-esteem to begin with. That was like, why would you do that? You have a narcissist and you pair them with someone who struggles with like self-esteem,
See that
self-image,
because
and all that
he
stuff.
lied in the interview process. So like that's why it was a
Yo, Anderson, you remember Chris, right?
disaster.
Oh my god. And
It was the worst. But
oh
like
man,
um
that dude was horrible.
but if you think about it, people really they find commonalities
Mm-hmm.
where they go, like where they frequent,
Oh, I
you
love
know.
it.
If I go to the I may meet somebody at the library, right? That we both are into reading and books and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people will find each other based on their commonalities because they're frequenting the same place, right? You know what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I feel like more of, and in them finding their commonalities as they get to know each other, they learn their differences, and they can they either decide whether these differences are something that they're willing to invest in, or if they're like, okay, you're too different for me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it in the butt. So this is not something. No, right? Something like that. Something as different as that. Like, bro,
Why
you
that
could have been,
example though?
because you could
That's
have
something
been
I would say. I'm
no.
proud of you. In case you missed it, you say I don't like
No,
it in the butt.
this is why did I say
Wait.
that? No, why did I say that, babe?
No. My wife just used an example that probably I would be the one I say because I have no filter. She
Oh
say
god.
I don't like it in the butt.
I really didn't mean to say it, just really came out. Like,
Pause. Pause. Yo, I hey
whatever.
yo, hey yo. Wow.
But why did I bring that up, right?
What did you bring up again?
Nothing.
Okay.
But the reason why I said that was because you could be amazing on all other levels, but that one difference, is not something I'm willing to accept, and we're done. Right? So it's like, what are the levels of differences that would be acceptable for you to stay, right? Or are there some that you're like, okay, I'm good, we're done? Oh, somebody said go to Davidson.
Should we continue? Yeah, there's some more up there. Okay.
No, he said sometimes you learn about each other's differences during arguments, keeping it 100.
Okay. That's when she say, I never like this about you anyway. Making
Right.
those discoveries, like, right? Ruthlyn said, I enjoy the thrill in our differences, but I don't compromise in differences in my beliefs and religion. That's yo, you know what? We need to have a live on being unequally yoked alone. I really, because listen, we are also living in a day and age talking about differences where there was a time where believers used to be like, nah, I am not dating someone who's not a believer. But nowadays it's like
people are settling. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, so that's
I don't agree with
that's
that,
a whole other thing. And again, Davidson mentioned you learn about differences during an argument. Yeah. Okay, so we ain't going to Europe, man. I'm not trying to watch looking at buildings.
That stuff is kind of cool. I think for once in a lifetime, I think for one vacation, we can kind of veer off of what we normally do and do something unexpected.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Was that a hint from you though? Somebody said that was a hint.
I mean.
So Ruthlyn answered your question earlier in terms of the matches. They're made based on similarities on those dating websites.
Yeah.
And so Sylvie chimed in
because you'll even hear when people are kind of testifying about their relationship, right, and saying like, oh my god, we're so much alike, we love the same things, like we have the same hobbies, and so people really like to have things in common with their person. I feel like if we were completely different and you liked nothing that I did and I liked nothing that you did, we wouldn't have anything to really come together on. Like we wouldn't have a thing of our own.
What do you have in common, babe? We have our faith. We both don't like it in the butt. You don't
Nah,
like it in the
bro,
butt.
you really didn't have to say it like that, though, Irvin.
My yeah. What else?
No, but like, just let's be real, though. Like, what do
You
we
like
have
it?
in
Let's
common?
talk about that.
Okay,
We're
so
opposite, guys. I feel like I am an introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert.
and you're an introverted extrovert. Yes, you're an introverted extrovert. I think I'm an extroverted introvert.
I don't know what the difference is. Like in other words,
Like,
okay, in other words, okay, I am around a lot of people. I am the life of the party. I'm a host. That's my personality. I'm that person who get the party started, but I don't like to be around people.
and I'm the opposite. I am when I am around people,
She
I'm
loves it.
I like it, but I'm shy if I don't know who the
Yeah,
people I'm around,
yeah.
right?
And is actually kind of
Um,
shy, believe it or not, around people.
yeah,
Uh, Especially in unfamiliar
places,
spaces and
yeah.
territories.
I have to know the people that I'm around in order to not have a good time, but like to be comfortable. It's not easy for me to just spark up a conversation. But for Irvin it kind of is.
Yeah,
Um yeah, but so that's one way that we're the same.
yeah.
No,
Well, part of it also
we're
has
not
to
the
do.
same in that way.
No, we're not. We're
we
not.
not
We're not.
I mean,
What else? Money. We're both frugal.
yeah.
We're both frugal. Um,
We both have like dreams and aspirations that we want to go after. Oh my god, babe, we should have.
Parenting. I think our parenting styles are different. No, they're not different. Our parenting style is the same.
They're the same to
They're the
us to an
same.
extent. Yeah,
It's just that I fall back. I'm the good cop and is a bad cop. But
yeah.
we tend to be on the same page when it comes to the
Yeah,
kids
values and how we want to
yeah,
raise them and
exactly.
stuff.
Um,
Um, but I think we're more on the different side. Like Irvin's is more. I'm more kind hearted. Irvin's is more
Essential.
factual. Yeah, babe.
Oh yeah, I'm very analytical.
Very
Very
analytical.
analytical
Very
and
analytical.
is more impulsive. In the
I
positive
wouldn't
in a
say
positive thing.
impulsive.
She act
Okay.
on things quicker than I would. I will analyze something over and over
So I
again.
move from the heart, he moves from the brain.
There you go. There you go. And also what else? What else? What else? What else? I think I am more. Yeah, that's. I was gonna say very similar to what I was gonna say.
Hmm.
What else?
I think that's it.
Yeah,
But I think they complement each other.
yeah.
At one point, they were clashing because I didn't understand. Okay, this is what I want to say. I feel like we needed to understand our differences and not look at it as a hindrance in our relationship.
Yeah. Guys,
We had
remember,
to
I'm sorry, baby.
accept.
Remember, as Ennis talking, remember, you guys are the third host. So I want you guys to be comment. We're gonna
They
we're
are
gonna keep the
talking.
comments.
There's
Yeah.
some comments, but anyway, they I wanted to like I feel like at the beginning of our relationship, we saw our differences as an attack
Mm,
on each other,
mm,
right? But when we learned to embrace our differences,
mhm.
they began to complement the relationship.
Yeah. And also I think what helped us, we are N and I struggle more with it than N, but this is where she made me a better person.
Did I make you a better
You made me
person?
better, boo.
Tell them.
You made me better. She made me a
Hey,
better person. She had a lot of good traits and qualities that I was able to apply to myself, and I'm still
had
applying to
or
myself.
have.
Have that
Mhm.
I'm still applying to myself now, right? Down to the being apologetic and being more considerate. I'm very. Oh, here's wait. Oh,
Okay.
guys, I am super, super dismissive and cares too much. Like, here's what I mean by an example. When mem, I'm gonna say in Creole and I try to translate in English in case to make sure it makes sense. When mem usumwe msuwutu. Upasumwe mbovag. That's me.
In other words, say it. Say it in English.
Like for me, you on me.
You
If
on me, I'm on
on
you.
you,
You
if
off me, I'm
I'm off
off
you,
you.
like that's I'm not. I don't sweat things or people. And if if something is happening between her and somebody, it bothers her to the point until she try to find closure. and then she try to find closure again. And it could be the smallest thing. I don't know if I would say it's borderline unhealthy, because it can cross over.
It depends
Wait. Let me
on
finish what I'm
who the
saying.
person
It could
is.
cross
Let's be clear.
over. It could cross over into almost an unhealthy need for validation. Whereas for me,
And you know what? And let's talk about it, because I feel like because you are that way, you
I'm
limit
protected.
the amount of connections that
I'm
you
protected though.
make, which is not so healthy at times, right? Because everybody needs people to, to grow, for just to have a core group of people that you can connect with. And I'm only that way with people that it matters to me. Like I said, like I'm very, very kind-hearted. Um and if I have an issue with someone that I love, like heck yeah, I
Nah,
want closure. I need to talk, like, what's going on, like what happened. Let's have a conversation. Whereas Irvin's is like,
it's
all
almost
right, whatever, it
obsessive
is what it
sometimes though. It
is.
could be really obsessive sometimes. Like, babe, I don't like. Okay,
That's
let it
just
ride.
that one instance, because it was a history. So I wouldn't say it was obsessive. I would
It could
say
be, boo.
it was more so, it was like a shock, and
Mm.
like I was in utter disbelief at what happened, and I needed closure. I needed, like, although, and I feel like Irvin's the way he grew up
I'm
is
a
so
thug.
different from the way I grew up.
Gang,
And
gang.
so our life, the way we view life, the way we view relationships, the way we view even family is different.
Gang, gang.
Not immediate family, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does they call that? What is that called? It's not immediate, but
Distant,
extended
extended.
family. But anyway, let's get back to these comments and see what people are saying.
But I will also say that even as Anna's talking about, she's seeing what she's used to. Like the petit frères, that's how they are. They're
We're very
like
kind-hearted
Anne.
people. We're very we've grown around, like, my household when I was growing up was never just with my immediate family. So we've been around people. We're not people pleasers, but we live with people, we live for people. Like, that's just
Mm-hmm.
that's how we were raised. As opposed to Irvin's, he was raised alone,
Gang,
literally.
gang, gang.
And so our view on people is completely different. But being how I am has created a balance in his life and his relationships, because he's learning from me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being different gives both individuals room to learn.
What up,
It
Cuzzo?
does.
It's
And
Cuzzo,
Irv
Cuzzo.
has learned so much from how I operate in relationships, because we're different. We were different.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, cuz. Oh, I love this question.
Okay. What
What
is
do
that
you
rule
think
of the 80/20
about the
rule?
80/20 rule?
You know much about it?
Isn't the 80/20 rule where I give 80% and then you give 20?
I gotta look that up real quick. Shout out to you, Dr. Sylvie. Congratulations.
Guys,
Um,
what's the 80/20 rule? Isn't the 80/20 rule like I give 80% and he gives 20?
because I'm trying to look it up in the context. It's a lot of a lot of it exists in different contexts. So in the context of a relationship, the 80/20 rule, you can only get about 80% of your wants and needs from a healthy relationship,
Oh.
while the remaining 20% you need to provide for yourself.
Mm.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
I did not. I was not aware of this one either.
So you can expect 80% satisfaction in your relationship, but the other 20 to make that 100 you have to bring yourself.
Here's another information. 80% of women only really go after the top 20% of men,
I don't think that's what she was
while the
talking
other
about.
80% of men. Okay, I
That's
don't
not what
know.
she says. I don't think that's the,
Yeah, but
the
comment, Sylvie, if you're still here, and I hope you are. Please comment on that so we could expound on it just a little bit more. Okay, I don't want
But in terms of 80/20, I also believe that, remember when we had that conversation about giving and taking?
to. Yeah.
We can
Go
talk.
back and watch that live, y'all. Give and take
We
in
were talking about
relationships.
giving and taking in relationships and how some days you will be giving 20 because that's all you have to give. And if you give all of that 20, guess what? You gave 100%. It's hard to accept. That's a harsh reality to accept. But it is what it is. That's just what it is. Like, there are certain points in relationships where we both won't have 100 to give.
Right.
There may be times that I only have 75. If I give my 75, bro, you better believe I gave my all. Because if I have only 75 to give and I give only 20, all right, then I'm like, I'm half stepping, not even half stepping, right? But if I gave my all of my 75, I gave 100%. But that 80/20 rule that you're talking about, Sylvia, is really
Yeah.
interesting.
Want to give a shout out
I like
to,
that.
I think that's one of my students on Instagram, former student. How you been, Mr. Garcon? I'm trying to figure out who you are. Makuni. I'm well. Only my former students call me Mr. Garcon. So thank you for tuning in, buddy.
Hey,
Remind me
Shy.
your name and what school. Mr. Garcon been to multiple schools. Uh, nah, bro, never that. You know I gotta
Let's
be
see.
me. Okay.
Let's see this. I think the longer you're married, you rub off on each other. So my hubby is an introvert and I'm an extrovert. But nowadays, I need my quiet time and I need my space. So we definitely change over time.
That's cool.
That's a
I like
good
it.
that's
I
a
like
good point as well. Definitely we do change over time. The needs that I had when I was 25 are not the needs that I have now that I'm 35.
it. Yeah, this is yeah,
I'm
this is
35.
this is a and you know what's funny though, Miranda, that you said that, and it's very bigger in character and kind hearted. I always say this, and it's not to make her feel good or nothing like that. If you have a problem with Anne, you're the problem, straight up. Except when she have a problem with me, she's the problem.
So this is what I really want him to internalize what he just said. Because he says that a lot. If you have a problem with Anne, then you're the problem. But when he has a problem with me, I'm the problem.
You know why? Because
I think we need some therapy right now.
I
Can you guys?
spoil. It is so. Oh my god, guys, Anne is so spoiled because I'm that great of a husband, right? So I let her get away with a lot of different things. Like I cater to a lot of different things. So when she's not getting her way now, like it's like it's gonna sound insulting, but it's like as you're grooming somebody and you're getting older, my expectation is higher. So now that you're no longer on the tit, you're no longer a baby, I'm gonna hold you accountable. So the things that I used to let you slide with, you can no longer slide with it. And now what does a baby do when they no longer get away from things? They start whining and complaining. Is she watch?
I cannot stand
Is she
you.
looking at me?
Listen, if you are going to unspoil me, prepare me for it. Don't spoil me. I've known all, this is all I've known. And then you want to pull back, bro? No, it's not happening that way. You can't just stop cold turkey because you just feel, or you've been talking to someone that made you feel like you being walked all over. I don't know what you were talking about with whoever you were talking about, but you can't just all of a sudden stop and expect me to be okay with that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Are you really? Guys, pray for me.
Keep spoiling me because
Pray
it
for
is what
me.
it is.
So I say I think it's important to discuss full extent of how you're brought up with the person your relationship with. He has a huge influence on your
It
relationship.
sure
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Two different people from two different lives to like raised two different ways. Like we gotta know that stuff.
But what causes the attraction to the opposite initially? You guys, please try to answer that question. What causes the initial attraction to the opposite?
I think it's fun.
It's just fun. See, that's not jouer avec bagaille, tu moi. Not jouer avec
While they're
bagaille.
answering, let's see what Stephanie has to
Yeah.
say.
Seven say love the locks
Oh,
and
thank you, Stephanie. I
thank you,
twisted him up today.
Stephanie. I'm gonna like my beard. Because of how different you guys grew up, did you have different expectations from each other? Mm.
That's a good question. Um,
I didn't
I
go
think
in.
that
Go ahead.
I think that okay, so because I grew up around a lot of people, well I was very well known. So I had a lot of friends, a lot of people that knew me that I knew. And so when I would be around people, um it would be a time. Like we would get carried away with conversations. Now when Irvins came into my life and he would come around the people that I knew, because Irvins grew up kind of solo, um, he didn't really know how to handle all the attention that I was getting.
No, a lot of our friends were very needy and clingy. Hey, y'all, if you're watching,
So let's say we went to like we would go to an event or whatever, right? And I see people. I'm talking to people. I'm hanging around. We're chatting, and he would just be very like quiet on the side and like kind of wanting to leave. And I'm like, bro, get in on this conversation. But because he didn't have that much of that growing up, he
remember I told you guys I don't like people. It sounds bad, but I really
and honestly, that kind of caused a little friction in our relationship at the beginning. Like he would want to leave early, and I'm like, bro, I'm not done. Like I just want to hang out or whatever. And it was just like this back and forth until he learned that okay, this is me. Like I'm a people's person, right? And it's so funny how it kind of switched now. Like that's you now. It's almost like you learned. It's like you picked up from those differences, and it
people
complemented.
just like me. Like people always think I'm mean.
Why can't you be
People
okay
think I'm
with
mean.
learning from me?
What? We said that already. I told them I already said that you made me better. Remember?
You just say that.
And guys, thank you again. As you're coming in, the topic is harmony in diversity, and we are talking in the context of being different or alike in a relationship. Okay, just as a recap. And again, keep sharing this live. Even if you came in late, this will stay up on our YouTube page and also the Love Talks Facebook page. So make sure you're subscribed, and because it will stay on there. Okay.
When someone has 80% of what she's explaining,
Okay.
when someone has 80% of what you want, like does anyone have 100% of what you want to? Oh,
I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't think anybody has 100% of what somebody is looking for in a relationship.
hmm.
You might luck out, but people are people. People are gonna people. And even if at first that they come across as if they do, naturally as we grow, as we are becoming different, and as we are evolving, it's gonna feel like I thought you were this.
It's true.
Like we were just talking about this jokingly. Like I spoil Anne so much, and she wants the same level of spoiledness to continue. But sometimes I gotta put my foot down. Let you know what's up. Let you know.
I like when you do that.
Like when I put my foot down, I'm about to put my foot down. Right? All right. Oh, that's probably from the movie. Okay, Sylvia, it's from the White Eye. I hated that movie. I'm not a big Tyler Perry fan. Uh, and then more explanation from Sylvie. What is a 20% you're willing to compromise on if someone doesn't have 100% of what you want?
You should never come. And I think we talked about that. Settling and like compromising and stuff like that, and what you should settle. What was the topic again? I forgot. But
Yeah,
non-negotiables. Talking about the non-negotiables.
Oh, the list.
Yes,
Go
yeah,
back
talking
and
about
watch
the
that one
list and
too.
the non-negotiables, right?
Yeah.
I think that 20% would be something that's not connected to your values.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
respect. Something like respect too.
yeah.
You cannot negotiate that.
I cannot negotiate my respect. I cannot negotiate my faith. I cannot negotiate.
One of them in the butt.
Irvin, no more of
You
that.
said it.
No, okay, I said it. I said it. That was past tense. We're not saying it anymore. I, I will not negotiate on the way I want to raise my kids. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like I feel like that 20% should be on okay, if he's not into if he's not into, could it be like, let's say he doesn't want to work
Mm,
and he just
okay.
wants to, he has hopes and dreams, but it's not there yet. Like, is that something
Right,
that
right, right,
is
right.
that could be a 20%, I
Yeah,
guess. I don't
it's
know.
possible.
Um,
Yeah, that was a great quote, right? Yeah, I like that one. Okay. But I don't know, y'all. Even relationship, these numbers are so arbitrary though. How do you even equate that? Ketia is giving a little bit more about the 80-20 rule as well. But I think I'm not a proponent of settling, but at the same time, when we start putting these numbers, these arbitrary numbers that people make, when everybody's different, I think that's where it tends to get a little bit tricky, right? So I think that's a problem. Again, we were at a retreat, one of our retreats, and um, I feel like the spouse had a really nice revelatory moment when the other spouse said, "You want me to give this amount? Well, what if this is my 100% right now as I'm growing, right?" And it was just such a vulnerable moment, and the grace that was extended to in that moment was also beautiful to see. So just be mindful about these man-made arbitrary numbers and expectations, because every situation is different. Again, this is not a proponent of settling. It's just for us to be mindful about the differences that we have and the uniqueness in every single situation that we're going to encounter as in relationships, guys.
and no matter where you are in your relationship, whether you are alike or whether you are different, I think if you're intentional with making it work,
Mm-hmm.
it can work. Like, no matter how different you are, no matter how alike you are, if that's an issue for you, like, if you are intentional about making something work,
You're right.
it can work. Hands down. Period. Like, there's no, because if two people are going to agree
Mm-hmm.
to do something, that's unity. And there's power in unity. And so if you stick together to say, okay, we don't like this about us, let's see how we can make it work, there's nothing can stop you.
Right.
You're all the way up.
Mm.
Right.
All right. Let's see what's going on. So going back to the story earlier, follow up question: if Anne needed time with people and Irv changed to accommodate that, did Anne change to accept when Irv wanted to leave early? Yeah,
I
yeah, she
did.
did. She did.
I did.
She did.
It had to happen through conversation. We had to learn each
Or one of
other's.
those situations. All right, babe. It's okay. Got to go.
Well, no, we just had to learn each other, and I think that's why it's so important to know your person, because once you know, um, once you know your person, you know how to service them. Service is a it sounds like a slavish type of word,
Mhm.
but that's pretty much what it is. Like, we're here to serve each other. And so once I know what you need from me, then I'm able to accommodate and adjust in the ways that I need in
Yeah.
order to make it work for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So Shy said, I think that what causes opposite attraction is the thrill, of course. But as you come to know the person, you realize that they complement your life, especially in the areas that you're lacking in.
Period.
But the opposite could be true too. You find out, oh, I can't live with that. See,
And that's the thing. Once you find out, as you're getting to know the person,
yeah,
it's up to you to decide whether it's something that you're
yeah,
willing to live with or not. And if it's not, before you get married, you dip. Period.
yeah. I mean, dating is just such a very interesting phase. It's discovery. It's a lot of things that is happening, that you're getting to know. And but the more you get to know, if it ain't it, you have to be bold enough to let it
Quit
go,
it.
because a
Like,
lot of
Risa Tisa didn't do
yeah,
it. Like, we talked about her last week. Those of y'all didn't catch it.
yeah,
Like, there's certain things that she realized, but she didn't act on,
yeah,
which got her caught into that deep, 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 deep mess,
right,
right? Because she avoided all the things that told her, okay, we're way too different here. I tell the truth. He lies. That's that 20% I'm not willing to negotiate, period. Like, if you can't tell the truth,
Y'all know Risa
I
Tisa,
don't know
right?
you.
Y'all know who we're talking about, right? Risa Tisa. It's the lady that
Yeah,
did
they
that
know
whole.
Risa Tisa. Everybody know it. 400 million views.
It's like,
Everybody knows Risa Tisa.
who the f did I marry? Now, sister's doing interviews. She's on the news.
Listen, she's everywhere.
Yo,
I can't wait for her to get with Oprah.
shout out to my dude Legion. You made her.
Don't you ever.
Perspective.
Don't you
My
ever.
dude Legion. Somebody find
Oh,
Legion. I want to interview Legion. I want to know his side of the story, right? But listen, some of the pros and cons of dating somebody who's opposite from you. Pro, you may learn to compromise, right? But again, that only works if pride is not a factor in your relationship.
Yeah.
When pride is a very big staple in your relationship, you don't want to compromise, you don't want to bend over. Pause. You don't want to compromise, you don't
I
want
didn't
to
hear
you don't want to
that.
bend over, you just want to lay there and take it.
Babe, that's not what you meant though. Like bending over meaning to like, you know, change what you think to make that
Yeah.
person happy. That's what you meant.
Or when you just want to lay there on the side.
Oh Lord. Babe, somebody said they should have put their kids down, which means their
The
kids
kids
are
don't
not
know what
down.
I'm talking. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Your mind is in the gutter. I'm being so innocent right
Continue, sir.
now. But what was I saying?
Compromising. If
Yeah,
pride.
you have to be willing to do that. I think people ask us all the time, what works in our relationship? If we have to put one thing, we have several. One thing, one rule, one formula is the fact that we are not very prideful people with each other.
Yeah.
The only area where you'll see pride in our relationship is there's an argument and somebody doesn't want to talk first, right? It's usually me. I own it, right? But other than that, there's no pride in our relationship. We are willing to learn from each other. We are willing to compromise. We are willing to,
Even when it's uncomfortable.
yeah, we are willing to accept certain things, right? And so that's a lot of that's. So you may learn to compromise. Another pro in being with someone who's opposite than you can learn how to be more patient and empathetic, right? Because you are not the same people, and you get an opportunity to walk in that person's shoes, to see where they're coming from, to think about the way I grew up is not the same way they grew up. So I need to be able to help them and learn and find ways
And understand.
to be understanding.
Yeah.
I grew up with my mom and dad. Let me see, what does it feel like to not have your father in your life, right? Another pro in when it comes to dating someone who's the opposite of you, the excitement may be more intense. Well, you guys alluded to saying that it's exciting at first, the bad boy. Or
so yeah, when Urbans was when to share a story. So Urbans and I, we were both Christians, right? But we were different Christians.
She was a pastor's daughter, and there's things that come along with
and
that.
these opposites attract. He was the temple boy, okay? The temple boy is the one who went to Jen with his mom all the time, praying all the time. And I was the pastor's kid.
Who says I'm going to the library?
Who would just kind of tested the waters at times, right? And so to meet someone who was completely like, Jesusified, right? I love Jesus, right? But I was more so of the,
World.
I wasn't the world, babe. I was just more, I was like the lukewarm type of Christian, okay? And so when I remember at one conversation we had, I said to him, I was like, hey, would you ever, I was like, would you ever like touch my breast?
What kind of question is that? And it was mad random. It was so random.
Because I wanted to see where his head was, honestly.
You see where my head was at?
Big comes to stop. I was like, would you ever touch my breast or whatever? And he was like,
fam.
He was like, no.
I did not say that.
He said, no, that's a sacred part of your body. I was like,
you trying to make me sound like a herb now, bro.
And when he said that, I was like, okay. But in my head, like, this nigga.
What is Hoodla?
So there was like a little thrill of
wanting to
trying to get trying to see, kind of like learn more about him, because I had never
you laughing, Shy? What's so funny?
I had never been with someone like that, right? And so it was like, oh, this is
Let
different.
me upgrade
I
you.
was like, this is different. Okay, I could do this, you know? And so, yeah, that was a real thrill for me. Somebody who said that what did you say? You said it could like cause like, yeah, it was a thrill for me. Like, wow, this is something different.
And the next
I
time
can
I
do
actually
this.
touched it, it was on a Good Friday. On a Good Friday, and both of us crying, talking about, oh Lord, forgive us. She ran. Okay? She ran. You ran. If your cousins are here, you ran. All right. And then
It was a
it
good
was a Good Friday,
Friday.
and we had to go to rehearsal after that. Choir rehearsal.
We felt so bad.
Yeah. All
No, we
right.
didn't have sex, guys. It was just that we went
It
a
was
little.
something we were watching that made that happen.
Yeah, we.
Bro.
And no, it wasn't porn, guys. Like you said, something we were watching. But anyway,
So
yeah.
some cons of dating somebody who's the opposite. The excitement wears off eventually. Like Shai was saying, it's exciting at first, but the excitement will wear off if it's a source of constant conflict. Because you're so opposite, you're so different, it become a source of constant conflict. Right? It was cute before, but now you have to either you're married to this person now, and then your perspectives are so different
Mm-hmm.
that it's creating conflict in your relationship.
And that's why it's important to know which ones you can accept.
Yeah.
Which you're willing to move on and live life with.
Right. And also, there's potential for disagreements. There's potential for disagreement.
A lot of potential.
Yeah. And it's going to require for you to have more communication. Now, if you are not a good communicator and you marry someone who's the opposite of you, because then you really don't know what that person is thinking because you don't have the same mindset.
Right.
This notion of you should read my mind, or we're different, we think alike. No, you need to be able to be a good communicator, and also be ready to have differing lifestyle. Right? You are a church person. That person is a clubber.
It ain't happening.
That's unequally yoked, and that's part of the whole idea of being attracted to someone who's the opposite of you.
Yeah.
Right. So these are all things to really,
but don't you
really
notice like a lot of girls, a lot of church girls are really into the thug guys?
That still is a thing.
Yeah. If you okay, imagine a youth group, right? Of girls. And then you got this thug dude that comes into the youth group. All the girls are looking at him. Why is that?
Because they are dumb.
Because he's different.
People, it's a different D word.
No, people gravitate towards people that are different than them, even if they're in a setting that they should have like commonalities or common ground. But yeah, I remember when I was younger, we used to do that. Whenever we used to see a guy that used to come into the church that didn't look like he didn't have on a suit. He had on some jeans, some Timbs, and he had on a baseball cap. Bro, like, who that? Birds, like, right? No, but like, because when people see someone that's different from them, they're intrigued. It's exciting. You're right. It's exciting. You're intrigued. You want to know more about the person. So
until you find out this dude is reading on a 3rd grade level, right? Could barely spell his name, right? And so those are the things. So yeah, guys, just some things to think about. I feel like the more alike you are, in my humble opinion, the more successful your marriage is going to be, or your relationship. It's not to me saying like you have to be the same. I mean, obviously we're different. It's working for us, but the formula that make it works for us is there's no pride. There's no orgy. Mm-hmm. Ann and I have truly embodied the notion of the us, right? We are really about our unit, about the Garcon unit. Doesn't mean it's not perfect. It's not a perfect science, but it helps a lot. A lot of relationships that are falling apart right now, a lot of marriages that are falling apart right now, it's because of those differences, and not just those differences, but the inability of finding common ground
In those
in those
differences.
differences, right? And then you have the unhealthy thing that can also happen where somebody is just giving so much.
Mm-hmm.
They give so much of themselves. They feel like they have no voice. They cannot say anything. You have the dominant perspective uh is the decision maker. And they go
Mm-hmm.
by that. And it could go both ways. It could go both for male and female. But we know most of the time it tends to be the male,
Mm-hmm.
right? So how much of a voice are you allowed to have in those differences? Do they listen to what you have to say, right? Oftentimes after I be in my I'm right, I go back and think back about Ann, and is it a personality thing? I evaluate myself a lot, but like, am I bugging with what I just said, what I just decided? Because I have to be mindful of my temperament, but also I'd be like, okay, is Ann being too soft because of her temperament? And then as we continue to communicate about whatever that situation is, whatever that conflict is, it doesn't have to be a conflict, whatever that perspective might be, we are able to find common ground.
Yeah, because being different doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
It doesn't always mean that you're right. You may have different perspectives on something, but it doesn't mean that either or is right. Now, how do we take those different perspectives
Mm-hmm.
and bring them together to find a common ground?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be the same. It's just not reality. It's not life. If the world was filled with only urbances,
Oh, it'd be Nirvana. It'd be Nirvana.
if the world was only filled with ands, like it's not that like it's just not, it's that's a boring world. So our differences are what make us better, right? Our differences are what make us unique.
Yeah.
What I have to bring to the table, coupled with what you have to bring to the table, we are a force to be reckoned with,
Mm-hmm.
period. Just finding those ways, not seeing the differences as a negative thing, but seeing it as something that you can learn from, right?
And imagine also now throwing another piece of. Imagine if your political views were different.
Oh
I'm glad
Lord.
my wife is not into politics. She just take whatever I say.
I say, baby, what we
We're going
voting
straight
for?
down.
Baby, what we voting for?
We're going straight down blue. We're blue. We're a blue family,
Oh
y'all.
Lord.
I can't deal with that. With that.
Listen, I just vote
With,
Jesus. I vote Jesus all day
can't deal with that orange
because he's
guy.
my president.
Yeah.
Okay? The president of the United States can be whoever he is, but Jesus is my president.
Right.
And that's it on our political talk for the day.
Right. So for those of you guys who are still here, we're about to wrap it up.
Yeah.
What say you? Better to be different? Better to be alike? Comment.
Just say one word.
Just one
different
word.
or alike.
Different or alike. Let's do a poll right now. Let's see what the answers are gonna be. Better to be different or to be alike? Talk to us as we wrap up this live. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let's go. I want to hear. I want to see your response.
All right, we got one different.
One for different. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Keep them coming, guys. Alike. Okay. One for different, one for
we got
alike.
a tie so far.
Let's go. Come on, y'all. Don't be shy.
Okay, we got another alike.
Alike. Okay. What's up, Bruno? Different. So
we're at 2
tie.
and 2.
2 and 2.
All right, let's get 3 more answers to break this tie. We got 2 difference. We got 2 alikes.
We tied now?
Wait. What was the question? I'm sorry.
The question as we wrap up, Stephanie, is it better to be different or alike in a relationship?
Different in interests, in hobbies, alike in principles and values.
Who's that?
So that's like
Who
voting
that?
both. That was Marie.
Okay.
She's in between. All right, I think different has won. We got 1, 2.
Keep them coming. There's more people here
3,
that haven't spoken.
4. Different for Ricky and I. Ricky, Blade, Ball, and Bike. Who's Blade,
that?
Ball, and Bike? Is that Farrah?
Why would we call Farrah bald?
She says Blade, Ball, and Bike. It's probably one of her I don't know.
Stephanie's going for both. Becky is saying alike.
Okay, somebody else is both. Somebody else. I think we have a tie again. Okay, guys.
Yeah, I can't keep up.
No, go back to the top.
Bro, you really gonna do
All right,
that?
let's get the last two. If it's the same, I think honestly, different has kind of trumped right now. I don't like that word, but
You don't like the
different.
word Trump?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, different has won.
Different?
So it's better to be different. Listen, you guys have spoken.
Hey, just gotta
Those
make
of you
sure.
who are not in a relationship, make sure you find somebody who's different. Okay, different from you.
Find that find the formula that works for you. All right, that's what you
Yes.
gotta do. Uh, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I sure
Yeah.
did. Thank you for hanging out with us. If do us a favor, those who are still here, some housekeeping things. Oh, Natalie.
Oh,
Oh, not Leech.
Oh, Natalie.
Hey, girl.
Okay. The kid
Uh,
Blaze Bulls and Bike.
Thank you, Stephanie. Do us a favor, guys. As you are still here, do not leave without interacting with whatever platform that you are on right now. So that means if you are watching us from YouTube, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And if you are watching us on Facebook, obviously, from what something that we if we shared our page, do go ahead and like and follow our Love Talks with the Garcon page on Facebook. I want you all to go ahead and like us on everywhere. Go like us on everything that we have.
We're nice people. You
Yeah,
can
we're
like
nice
us. We like you
people,
too.
you know. And to make things easier, this is our link tree. If you go to our Instagram, which is Love Talks with the Love Talks underscore with underscore the Garcons. If you go on this page, you'll find a link tree that will make it easier for you to just basically follow us on all platform, right? We appreciate you guys for pulling up. We have some announcement coming up really soon. We are planning a couple of great things at end of this quarter, early for next quarter, where you get a more intimate time with us. So be on the lookout for that. We love you. We appreciate you. Share this link with somebody else because they could
Love you,
always
Becky.
they could always
Thank
catch the
you.
replay. And until next time, y'all. Love
See
y'all.
you.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Bonnery, bonnery,
Have a good night,
bonnery.
guys.
Good night, guys.